Hi guys, I'm Gasha. Welcome to our coffee times to discuss horror, and today we have a book haul.
It's coffee time.
I believe this is the second book haul that I do in 2024, so it's not that bad because we are almost halfway through the year and I've only done 2 book hauls. Now granted, when I do a book haul, there's quite a lot of books, and it is the same case here. I have 60 books to show you today. So needless to say, get caffeinated, get your beverage of choice, and let's get to the books. I have divided this book haul into sections. I think it's always a little bit easier for you guys to know which books have I gotten for which category. And we're gonna start first with the books that are not 100% horror. So I'm talking about, thrillers, cozy thrillers, or books that are really dark but they might not be particularly horror. So we're gonna take a look at those first. This year I made the decision that I wanted to try and read some of the Nancy Drew books. I've always been really curious about these mysteries and I never read them, and so I thought it doesn't matter if I'm an adult or not, I could just get the books and read them. And so far I've managed to get 3 of the books. I am getting these beautiful hardcovers. I got The Secret of the Old Clock, which is volume 1. I also got The Hidden Staircase, which is volume 2, and The Mystery at Lilac Inn, and this is number 4. I think the plan is going to be to get volume 3 and then read the first 4 and see if it's something that I enjoy before I keep buying more volumes. The next book is not particularly horror, but it is by an author that wrote a horror book that I really enjoyed and many other people hated. I'm talking about The House of Leaves. And so I've always been curious and I've always wanted to try other things by the author to see if I would enjoy them as well. So I finally decided to pick up the first volume of The Familiar by Mark Z. Danielewski, and don't know much about this. I know it follows different characters in different places. I'm guessing the stories are going to be interconnected at some point. It is a mixed media book, exactly kind of designed like House of Leaves, but I think this one doesn't have footnotes that have their own footnotes. So I guess that's an improvement. I don't know, I'm just really excited and it feels like a different type of reading experience, so hopefully I will enjoy it. Next I have Sight by Jesse Greengrass, and this was a spontaneous purchase at a secondhand bookstore. I don't know, something about this book caught my attention, and this is not the type of book that I would normally pick up. So because this year I want to challenge myself to read things that are not horror, I decided to pick this one up. It is a novel about how we see others and how we know ourselves, and it is a woman exploring motherhood while she goes through memories of her childhood with her mom and grandma. And I believe there also features some kind of science discoveries throughout the years. It sounds interesting. It sounds like something that I normally wouldn't pick up, but for some reason I was so intrigued about this book when I was at the store that I had to take it. Next I have a couple of thrillers that I received in my Abominable book box. The first one is Red River 7 by A.J. Ryan, and this follows 6 strangers that wake up one day on a boat and they don't know why they're there, but all of them have a gun. And so I guess they have to fight for survival at some point, and I guess they have to figure out why they were chosen for this. So it sounds like an interesting read. Next I have Murder at the House on the Hill by Victoria Walters. I think this is just a cozy mystery thriller, and we're in a small town where nothing really ever happens. I believe our main characters own a bookstore about mystery novels, and then there's a murder that is committed in this mansion, something like that. So I think it's just a cozy murder mystery, and I'm here for it. Then I have A Good House for Children by Kate Collins, and I believe this is more of a gothic mystery about a possible haunted house. So another great book for cozy winter reading. Another book that I picked up not knowing exactly what it's about, and I don't even care to be honest, is Monsters by Emerald Fennell. If you don't know Emerald Fennell, she is the director behind Saltburn. And Saltburn was one of my favorite movies last year. I've watched it 3 to 4 times and I'm still obsessed with it. She also directed Promising Young Woman that I also saw and loved when it came out. So her stories tend to be really dark, really grim, and they kind of explore the real darkness that is inside of us as humans. And when they told me that she had a book, I had to grab it, I had to get it, so I'm ready for this. If this is anything like those two movies, I'm gonna love it. When I was at the bookstore, I was checking out the thriller section, and there were a couple of books that I was interested in. Normally, I don't immediately buy the books, but I thought, you know what, let's do it, because they sounded like great mystery thriller, like crime thrillers. The first one is a book that I had seen people talking about and saying that they really enjoyed it, so I wanted to give it a try, and that is Death of a Bookseller by Alice Slater. And also this pink cover with the neon green did it for me. I believe it's about a bookseller that is obsessed with true crime, so need I say more? I really want to try this one. The other one that I picked up is The Cat Who Caught a Killer by L.T. Shearer. And this one, I don't think I need to explain why I got this book. It has a cat, and I believe it's a cat that helps a detective solve a mystery, a murder mystery. And there is a second book already in the series, and I was like, I kind of need that book. I want to try it. I want to see if I love it, because cats. Moving on to middle grade horror books, and I only have 3 in this category. The first one I have is The Collector by K.R. Alexander. This one I picked up, I think, randomly at a bookstore in Amsterdam, if my memory serves me right. And I just picked it up because creepy doll on the cover, and I think it's about a house that grandma warns the children not to go into, but I'm guessing that do, and things might happen there. So I don't know, I just grabbed it. The next one is Shiver Point, A Tap in the Window by Gabrielle Dillon, and I've been really excited about this. This is a new series of middle grade horror books, and I got the first book. I still have not read it, but I needed the second one because this is a book that I want to read this Halloween season because it features a scarecrow. So this cover is amazing, and I'm really excited about this new middle grade horror series. The other one is another book that I'm really excited about. It's called Shadow Hall Academy. That's the name of the series, I guess. The Whispering Walls by Phil Hikes. And Phil Hikes did the Abilene books, which I have read and loved. And when I saw that he was coming up with this, I'm like, I need it. I'm not sure if this is gonna be a series or not, but I would be really happy if it is because it looks and sounds fantastic. It's about a girl that is new at this boarding school, and then the people there tell her that the school is rumored to be haunted, there's supposed to be ghosts there. Maybe it's just legends, but what if the ghosts are actually there, and what if they're all in danger? Let's go to the YA section, shall we? So first of all, let's talk about Mina and the Cold by Amy McCall. I have been dying to get this book, and it's almost bittersweet. It's like I want to sit down and just start reading it and just enjoying it, but then I'm like, it is the last one. At least for now, right? And I kind of want to savor it. I feel like we've all been here before when we know there's a book that is finishing a trilogy or a series and we're dying to read it, but at the same time we want to savor it. But I'm really excited. This is the 3rd book in the trilogy, and I'm just in love with the cover design, same as the other ones. So I'm really excited to be finally able to read it. Next we have Bite, Risk, Caught Dead by S.J. Wills, and this is the 2nd book on the series. This is teenage werewolves in a town where they are aware that werewolves exist, and it's only the adults that can turn into werewolves. When you're a teenager, you are not a werewolf until you reach adulthood. And it was a lot of fun. It was different from your typical werewolf story, so I really enjoyed it, and I was really excited to get part 2. In one of my trips to Amsterdam, I of course visited Waterstones, and I decided to get 2 books. The first one is How to Find a Missing Girl by Victoria Vlosok, and this one I picked up because I am getting really into YA mystery thrillers. And I don't know, this one sounded like a lot of fun. You know, a lot of them are about a girl that disappears or a girl that is murdered, and I don't know, I think like I'm in that era at the moment, so I decided to pick this one up. And the other one is Where Sleeping Girls Lie, and I got this one as well because it was on my list and it has red spread edges. And this is another one that I'm really excited about, but it is a very chunky book for a YA, so a little bit intimidating. But these were like two books that I kind of wanted to pick anyway, so I was like, I'm here in Waterstones, let me grab them. And because I really loved A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and I have been craving more books like that, I finally grabbed Missing Clarissa by Ripley Jones, and this is kind of similar to that, and I'm hoping that I'm gonna love it. A girl disappeared in 1999, and years later there is a true crime podcast kind of touching that topic. So I don't know, I'm really excited to read this one. There is a sequel, and hopefully if I love this one then I can grab the sequel. Of course, I also got The Invocations by Crystal Sutherland because I really loved House of Hollow. I thought it was such a good atmospheric horror story, and I'm really excited about this one as well. Plus it has a fantastic cover. This book features magic and the occult, and I'm really excited. It says, the three damaged young women, one cursed, one hunted, one out for revenge, must track down and eliminate a brutal supernatural killer before they too become victims. Sounds fantastic. Then I have more spontaneous purchases because sometimes I can't control myself. But sometimes Amazon and other places where I look for books have offers and I cannot decline. I can't decline, I need to get it. And that's how I got these next two YA mysteries or mystery thrillers. The first one is called 14 Ways to Die by Vincent Ralph. I know it involves a serial killer and a girl that signs up for some sort of like experiment in which she has to show all her life and social media and pictures and all of that. And then there's a serial killer from 10 years ago that comes back. Not sure, but we have here technology, serial killer. It is a YA, probably a fun, fast-paced book. So I decided to give it a shot. The other one is called The Killing Code by Ellie Marney, and I picked this one because it sounded quite different from your typical mystery thriller for YA readers, and I was intrigued. We are in the 40s, and apparently girls that work for the government are being killed one by one. They're being targeted by something. They assume it's probably a serial killer. So there is a group of girls that are really good at solving codes and at decoding stuff, and they join forces in order to find the killer before it's too late. So I don't know, it sounded like such a different take on serial killer, and also based in the 40s, which I don't read so many horror books based in the 40s, so I thought it was really interesting. Now let's go to the horror paperbacks that I got, which are a bunch, so let's get through those. As you can see, I have plenty of these paperbacks, so let's just get through them. The first one is James Herbert, The Magic Cottage, and this is a book that I got in the Abominable book box. And you know, we all know James Herbert. I've never read this one before, so I was really happy to see this one pop up in my box. In my last book haul, I talked about two books that I got, which were Bitten and Stolen, I believe. And I found three more books in the series, so I decided to grab them. They are by Kelly Armstrong. So the other book that I got was Dime Store Magic. I got Broken. And I also got Hunted. So now I have 5 books in total from this series, and I think I should read the 5 that I have before I keep purchasing books from the series because I think there's a total of 12 or 13 books, so I want to make sure that I enjoy the books before buying more. Then I have 2 supernatural books. I've mentioned this before, but I'm trying to get the supernatural paperbacks, and when I have enough, I'm planning on binging them. So I have Supernatural Mythmaker and Supernatural Children of Anubis, and I'm adding these to my collection. Next we have Howling at the Moon by Karen McInerney, another pick from a secondhand bookstore. I have not read this series. I know it's about werewolves, that's about it, but I have been wanting to get back to urban fantasy. I think that, you know, it's a really good palate cleanser as well between like heavy topic horror books or really disturbing, intense horror books, because urban fantasy is just kind of cheesy and fun. I also picked The Throat by Peter Straub. Don't know anything about this book, but it's Peter Straub, so I thought this was a safe bet. Then I grabbed Anne Rice's The Tale of the Body Thief because I did not have this one, so I needed it for my collection. The next two books I also found at a secondhand bookstore, and I knew nothing about the author, but the covers look really cool and I decided to grab them. The first one is Shadows in the Watchgate by Mike Jefferies, and the cover, it's just really cute, and I thought, you know, why not? I can try it. The other one is called Stone Angels by the same author, but I just thought the covers looked really cool, so I might give them a chance. Next I have a point horror book. It is Point Horror Unleashed, The Hanging Tree by Paul Stewart. It's not in the best condition, but it is a book that is hard to find, and I got this copy for really cheap. So even though, like I said, it's not the best condition at all, but at least I have a copy. So in the future, you know, if I find a better copy, I can replace it. But like I said, it is not an easy book to find and also not for cheap. So I was glad that I was able to get it. The next one is a super random mystery thriller that I found, and it's The Cat in the Manger by Lydia Adamson. It's a mystery, and it had a cat on the cover, and it was really cheap, and I'm like, you know what? I'm getting it. And I'm planning to read this over Christmas because it says on the back, The Corpse Who Came for Christmas. And we have here a Christmas tree, and I was like, you know what? I'm getting it. Basically what I'm saying is just put cats on your book covers because I'll buy them. The next two paperbacks are by really well-known authors. The first one is Dean Koontz, so I got The Bad Place. I found this one at the secondhand bookstore, and even though I haven't read it or know what it's about, I thought it was a safe bet because it's Dean Koontz, so I decided to grab it. And the other one, I'm so excited for this one. It's Night Show by Richard Lehman, and this is a copy that I found on eBay, and it's in fairly good condition. I have not read this one. It's short and it takes place on stage, on a theater, and I'm really excited for this. The last horror mass market paperback that I have to show you is Living Dead in Dallas, and this is because I'm trying to collect the whole Sookie Stackhouse series, and I want to read it once I have all of them because I would like to binge it. Maybe I will make a vlog about it. I did start watching True Blood many years ago, but I never made it past, I believe, season 2. So I thought it might be great to read all the books in a vlog and then maybe also watch the TV show, but we shall see. We are still talking about adult horror, and in a secondhand bookstore I found a copy of Dumaki by Stephen King. I am trying to collect all his books in hardback, and I did not have this one in hardback, so I was really happy to find this copy, and obviously I got it right away, no explanation needed. I also found a copy of Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke by Eric LaRocca. I did not have this kind of bind up. I have the original story that came out, and then it was re-edited together with other short horror stories by him, so I had not purchased this edition yet. Now I have because I need it for my Eric LaRocca collection. Then you guys, I finally found a copy of Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle. I have been dying to read this book. I have been so obsessed with trying it because of the other books and book titles that I knew the author from. And I'm so excited as well about his new release for 2024. I think it's called Bury Your Gaze, and it just sounds so good as well. But I need to get to this book ASAP. Another book that I was dying to try was House of Hunger by Alexis Henderson. So I finally got myself a copy because I have been meaning to read this one. I really need to catch up on all the vampire books that have been released in last years because I feel like I have missed so many, and vampires are one of my favorite creatures. I've been obsessed with vampires since I was a kid, and so I feel like I need to read this. And I also desperately needed a copy of Good Girls Don't Die by Christina Henry. You guys know I really enjoy her books, and this book I believe came out last year and I still didn't have a copy, which was unacceptable. And I really wanted to make sure I got this cover because I love the black and red. And yeah, I finally found it and I need to get to it. We have two categories left. We have nonfiction and we have new releases. And the new releases section includes some special editions and signed copies. So let's start first with the nonfiction. The majority of nonfiction section for me is true crime. It is what it is. But before I show you all the true crime books that I found secondhand, let me show you a book that I grabbed impromptu. I saw it on Amazon on sale and I was like, I'm gonna need that. And that is the Mammoth Book of Slasher Movies. And I was really excited to find this and pick it up because it includes around 250 slasher movie recommendations. Now, this book was published in 2012, so all the movie recommendations are going to be only up to that year. However, there are so many movies, you know, that I maybe missed or that I forgot about. So I thought this was a great way for me to kind of go through it and check out some movies that I missed, and then I can read all the info about them. So this is how it's presented, and it is in alphabetical order, which I also appreciated. So I don't watch first all the older movies and then keep going, you know, 60s, 80s, 90s. Like, I love that it's mixed because it's in alphabetical order, so I will be watching newer and older movies. So really excited to dig into this. Now let's dive into my true crime book finds. The first one is Henry Lee Lucas by Dr. Jewel Norris, and for this ones, the majority of them I don't know anything about the cases, but I would be, you know, intrigued to find out what these murder cases are about. The next one is about the Cape Cod murders, and it's called In His Garden: The Anatomy of a Murderer. This is kind of like a chunkier one, and I keep collecting these books and I still have not really read them, so I need to get to them. And then I found a bunch of Unruled books. She has basically made a career writing about true crime, and I have been trying to collect her books. So one of the ones that I got is Small Sacrifices, which is this one. Then I have the I-5 Killer, and I was able to find these really cool vintage editions. They are now all being re-released in new editions, but I was glad to find the older copy. I also found an old copy of the Want Ad Killer, and I really enjoy these like older vintage paperbacks. The other one that I got is Lust Killer. So these ones at least are a little bit shorter. So I might start with one of these and make it a little bit easier for me. But to be fair, the one that I am the most interested in is Unroll the Stranger Beside Me, because this is about Ted Bundy, and I have heard many good things about this book and I never picked it up. Ted Bundy, you know, Bundy is one of those really big cases, really well known, so of course I know about this ones and not about these other ones, so that's why I'm more interested and inclined to pick this one up. So I might pick this one next when I grab a true crime. Time to show you my special books and signed editions of 2024 horror book releases. Let's start with the two books that I got in my Abominable book box. The first one is Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison, and Rachel Harrison is an author that I finally read this year and I really enjoyed The Return, which is the only book I have read so far by her, so I'm really excited to have another one to dive into. We have My Throat and Open Grave by Tori Bobalino. This is another 2024 release I was really excited about. I got a copy of This Skin Was Once Mine by Eric LaRocca, which is his latest release, and as always I'm collecting his books, so I needed a copy of this. I also got Diabola by Jennifer Thorne because I have heard many people talking about it, and even though I have been warned that it is not 100% horror, people have told me it has a great atmosphere and it's a great story, so I just need to know for myself. I was too curious and I need to know. Then I got two books that were in Illumicrate and I really wanted those editions. I finally caved in, and the first one that I got I have seen it around for some time and I knew I needed it because it is one of the most beautiful books I have ever seen. That is Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. Fun fact, the first time I ever heard about this author was on my very first YALC convention. The books were not even out yet. The first book, The 10,000 Doors of January, but then I picked it up because I heard about it on YALC and I really enjoyed it. I haven't read the Once and Future Witches, but I do have a copy of it. And when I saw this one, this edition is just so pretty. Plus, the regular hardcover of this book has one of those stickers in the cover that you cannot remove, that is like printed into the cover, into the dust jacket. And I was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I had no choice because they put the sticker on the original hardback. I had to get the special edition. That's just how it goes. No, but honestly, this book is so stunning. Look at those spread edges. I mean, just look at them. And the dust jacket is actually see-through. This book, naked, oh, I mean, excuse you. And wait until I show you the end pages. Oh, do you see that? This was so pretty. This is just stunning. And I needed this edition in my life. So hopefully I will really love the book because I'm in love with this cover. The second Illumicrate special edition that I wanted is a book that has just came out. And I had it on pre-order. I canceled my pre-order and I decided to buy the Illumicrate edition because it is absolutely stunning. And the seller was kind enough to send it to me on the back that comes with the Illumicrate and also with the art that comes with it. So let me show you the art, see if you recognize which book it is. This is the art that comes with it. And the book is Evocation by S.D. Gibson. Listen, since I read An Education in Malice, some sort of brain chemistry changed and I have been obsessed with that book ever since. And when I knew the author was gonna start this series, even though it's fantasy more than horror, I knew I needed it. The irregular hardcover is really, really pretty and I had it pre-ordered, but when I saw the Illumicrate edition, I died dead and I knew there was no coming back. So I got this edition and I canceled my pre-order and here we are. First of all, hello spread edges. Hi. How are you doing? There is also art under the dust jacket. Hi, hello gorgeous. I mean, take a look at the naked book. It's just disgustingly pretty. Look at it. Look at the other side. Look at it. And wait until I show you the end pages because you're gonna die. Look at this beautiful, beautiful book. And the ones on the end, my favorite. Look at this. Look at this. I'm really excited. Like I said, this is fantasy with a bit of romance, I think, but it's also about someone that has a pact with the devil. So I'm hoping for some creepiness coming from that direction. I'm hoping this book is dark, and I just needed this copy. I have 3 more books to show you, and then we have made it together through this big book haul. So one of the last ones that I have to show you is the reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. Our main character loses her mom when she's very young. Her mom disappears. Years later, they want to do a documentary about her mother's disappearance and they're getting everything ready, but then the mom shows up, she's back, and we don't know what happened. So I wanted this special edition. It is from Waterstones and it has this beautiful spread edges. Also, it has this exclusive edition kind of end pages. And also the naked cover says special first edition. I'm gonna be reading this one this month and I'm really excited about it. We have 2 more to go. We have The Gathering by C.J. Tudor. No need to explain this one too much. It is the new mystery thriller by the one and only C.J. Tudor. This one is about a small town and possibly dangerous vampires, so I'm here for it. And I got this one because this one is the exclusive signed edition from Waterstones, and since I have enjoyed everything by CJ Tudor so far, I thought it would be cool to have a signed copy by her. I don't know if I will ever have the chance to meet her, so I'm glad to have this one signed, especially because being a book about vampires hopefully means it's gonna be one of my favorite ones by her. Fingers crossed, but this is another one that I will be reading this month. And last but not least is a book that I had forgotten that I had pre-ordered. You heard me right, I had forgotten that I had pre-ordered this book. And then I saw that the special edition I wanted was sold out, and I was so sad about it. And then I got an email saying, your order has been shipped. And I'm like, what? And that is the new Christina Henry book. This is The House That Horror Built, and this is the exclusive signed by the author edition from Waterstones. It has beautiful black spread edges, it has the cover that I wanted, and of course it's signed by the author. Now this one only has a plate, but I don't care because, again, I don't know if I will ever meet Christina Henry, but I have loved all of her books so far that I have read, and I really love this cover, and I thought, why not get it signed for the same price, you know? And I'm really happy that I forgot that I had pre-ordered this. I guess my brain knew what it was doing when I pre-ordered it and then forgot about it. But I'm really excited to get to this one. I need to read the last 2 books by her because I am behind. Alright, you guys, we have made it to the end. These were all the new books that I wanted to show you. I have been sitting here for so long that my back is hurting. That's what happens, you guys, when you start to get old. Something you guys have to look forward to. You're welcome. Anyways, I hope that you had a good time seeing all the new books that I have bought for the collection. Also, we had middle grade YA adult non-fiction, so I feel like, you know, we had a wide variety of books in this haul. Let me know if you have read any of these books and what you thought of them, as always spoiler free. And also let me know which is the last book that you bought that was like a real treat for you, maybe like a special edition or a signed edition that you really wanted. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys as always so much for watching, and I hope to see you all as always in our next coffee time. Bye!